Welcome to Rock Your Reinvention. I'm Karen Freeland, your guide to ditching corporate and designing a life you love. If you're ready to shift your mindset, boost your confidence, and finally take action on that dream career or business, you're in the right place. It's your time. Let's rock your reinvention. Welcome back to Rock Your Reinvention, and happy Thanksgiving if you're in the US. This is the time of year that we typically talk about gratitude and being grateful for our blessings. And if you want more on that specifically, definitely check out episode 59, How to Practice Being Grateful, 10 Tips. It's a great companion to this conversation and the perfect refresher for the upcoming holiday season. But today I want to focus on something that's connected to gratitude, but often overlooked. Charity, giving back, living with a spirit of generosity. And if you truly want to rock your reinvention, I believe that this is a key component. So whether you're still knee-deep in corporate, confidently planning your exit, or already on the other side and living your reinvention, this episode is your reminder that the whole purpose of success is to lift others up, to help other people. It's not to buy a bunch of crap that sits in your closet. Sorry if that's too blunt, but seriously, it's not to go out to eat all the time or splurge on these really expensive, extravagant vacations. At least that's not what I want to use my success for, right? That's all vanity. We can't take it with us. It's going to leave you feeling empty in the long run. And that's why charity is so important. So let's talk about it. But I want to do it in a way that goes beyond just write a check and feel good, because charity isn't just something we do. It really is a posture. It's a mindset. And I would say that it's a reflection of what we believe about purpose, abundance, and God's calling on our life. But here's the thing. Successful women, especially type A, which we know if you're listening to this, you probably are, you are amazing at setting goals, at achieving your accomplishments, and getting things done. But when it comes to slowing down, looking outside ourselves, being intentional with giving, it can feel like another to-do list item, right? Just something else you have to check the box on to be a good person. So today I want to help you bring charity back to the heart of who you are. Not out of guilt or out of obligation, but out of an overflow of abundance. Charity, in my view, is a natural extension of that gratitude. It's how we say, yes, I am blessed. I am fortunate for all that I have been given, and I want to pay it forward. I want to use those blessings to help others. It's like I share in my book, Grab Life by the Dreams, the essential guide to getting unstuck and living your purpose, available on Amazon or wherever you buy books. Giving isn't something that drains you, right? But it actually reminds you of your purpose and it grounds you in who you are. It pulls you out of your own stress. And let's be real, if you're still in corporate, there's plenty of that to go around. It pulls you out of your own timelines and it reconnects you with humanity, right? And that's why we're all here, to be in communion with each other and to help each other. That was something that was really lacking for me when I was in corporate. And if I hadn't been intentional when I rocked my reinvention, that probably would have continued into this season of entrepreneurship. But I made a real concerted effort to say, no, charity is going to be a much bigger piece of what I do and how I do it. So let's talk about some real, tangible ways that you can practice charity this season, or really in any season, even if you're busy and life feels a little chaotic, and even if you're not really where you want to be yet in your business or financially. Because there isn't a one-size-fits-all for charity, but there is always a way to give back that will fit every lifestyle. So there's no excuses. So the first thing you can do is to adopt a family for the holidays. And this is one of my favorite ways to give because it is so personal. And your church may do this, or your kid's sports team. I know ours do. And what I love about adopting a family is that it's not just about meeting those basic needs, but it's about giving them something that they want, something that makes them feel loved and cared for, something that sparks joy. Oh, think about that. You have the ability to create joy for someone else. And if that doesn't light a fire, I don't know what will. It was funny because last year I picked something off the giving tree, I'll be honest, and I put it back because I was like, ooh, that's expensive. And it was a vacuum. And I'm thinking Dyson vacuum. So I'm like, oh my gosh, $500. I'm like, well, I'm going to put that back for somebody else. Well, my son comes up behind me and without seeing what I had picked, picks the vacuum. And we get in the car and I'm like, what did everybody get on their ornament? My son goes, a vacuum. I'm like, okay, God, I hear you. I see you. Yep, you're teaching me that I really do have the money and the means to get a vacuum. Now, we did not buy a Dyson. It was not $500, but we did get them a very nice vacuum. And so it was just this moment of humility and trust and obedience. And that's one of the beautiful things about giving. You have the ability to practice all of those amazing virtues. Okay, so the second thing you can do is to give your time. And it really does matter more than you think. When I was in corporate, I used to give money because that's what I had, and I had plenty of it. Time, on the other hand, no, I was time starved. But when I transitioned out of corporate and actually started volunteering and being more hands-on, everything changed. Let me tell you what, there is nothing like seeing the impact up close, meeting the faces of the people's lives you're changing, hearing their stories and their gratitude. That is palpable. Charity isn't just about writing checks. Sometimes it's about showing up and being present with those in need. If you're serving a soup kitchen or working in the food pantry, you're meeting those critical needs, but you're also providing them with that human connection. And that's something that's lacking for a lot of people. So if business is slow right now, go serve. If you're anxious about something, take some time to serve. If you're waiting for that next door to open, this is your call to serve. God uses that surface to soften your heart and to strengthen your purpose. The third thing you can do is set a charity goal. If you listen to only one thing today, I hope it will be this. Have a charity goal. It could be personal, it could be family. And this one is so important if you're type A because you thrive with goals. So make giving one of them. My personal goal is to donate $30,000 a year. Am I there yet? No. But every year I do get closer because I have set out that goal. And even when things feel uncertain or business slows down, that giving reminds me money's a tool. It's not a God. It's not the end all be all. It doesn't make me more valuable or less valuable. Right? One of my favorite money affirmations is this: money flows abundantly in and out of my life. And it reminds me that it's fluid. And what I have in the bank isn't my forever amount, right? That's going to ebb and flow. So remember this, charity doesn't have to be formal, right? Sometimes I think we get caught up in finding the right charity and tithing exactly 10%. Last year, one of our friends hit a bit of a rough spot and we just quietly gave their family some money to help out. Right? It was under the radar. Probably not, it's not even tracked, with the IRS or anything. We were like, you're in a tough spot. We're going to be here for you. And some of my favorite giving is what I like to call angel giving, right? That anonymous donation. Because when nobody knows, it keeps your ego in check and it makes it all about the impact. One thing I love to do is to contact the local school and pay off those overdue lunch balances for kids who need it. And it's so simple, but it makes such a huge difference. But here's the thing, they can't give me anything back because they don't even know who I am. There's no thank you. There's no plaque on the wall with my name. There's no kudos. But you know what the real joy is? In my head, I like to imagine the face of that mom when she comes in to write a check and she's probably a little downtrodden and like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm going to come up with this money. I got a $400 bill for my kids' food. And they come in and the cafeteria woman goes, oh, you don't know anything. It's been taken care of. I can just imagine what her face and what she must be thinking, or when she logs in online and wonders where the money came from. That just makes my heart happy. Give it a try. 10 out of 10 stars. Highly recommend. Okay. The fourth thing you can do is to donate items in need. This could be food or clothes, but don't forget about other things that a lot of people don't talk about, like period supplies. If you can't afford food, how are you going to afford $10 tampons? Right? And between the economy and all the other political factors right now, food scarcity is on the rise and people just don't have the money for the basic things that they need. This year, I actually partnered with a local women's organization and packed a bag for a foster family who was preparing to receive a toddler girl. So it had everything that she would need for her first few days in a new home, like wipes and baby spoons and a new toy. And if you don't have kids and you're fostering and all of a sudden you're bringing in a toddler, you need these things because you don't have them laying around your house. Even going around the house and collecting and rounding up all the kids' toys or clothing that no one's wearing and giving that is powerful. You may not think that something that's gently used or a small donation makes a difference, but they really do. Charity doesn't have to be grand to be meaningful. It just has to come from your heart. Okay, number 5, fundraise for causes you care about. And this is a big one for me right now. I was actually invited to join the Wish Society for Make-A-Wish, and I am actively raising $7,500 to grant a wish for a child with a critical illness. Y'all, I had no idea that a wish on average costs $7,500. I mean, that's a lot of money, right? And I actually have a friend whose daughter was diagnosed with leukemia when she was 2 years old. And I saw how much strain that put on the family, right? Because here you have my friend, she's basically living out of the hospital with her daughter, and then the husband is working and he's back with the son, and they're separated for weeks sometimes on end, traveling back and forth multiple hours to and from hospitals. I mean, it just takes a toll on a family. And, I think some of the women that I've talked to, because usually it's the mom who's in the hospital and doing all that caregiving, is like they feel like they've totally missed out on the other sibling's life, for that period of time. And so the beauty of Make-A-Wish is that they can bring them all together, and have this really beautiful, typically a vacation, but whatever the wish is. And, I think fundraising can be really fun because it leverages your network and it makes it more of a community sport, if you will. Right? You're not doing it all by yourself. I don't have to come up with the $7,500 in this example, but instead we can mobilize our network for change. And we're just saying like, hey, together we can change this family's life. We can give this kid something more to fight for in this case. And since you're part of my community, if anything I've ever said or encouraged you or, inspired you or has helped you on your reinvention journey, would you do me a favor and contribute and support my Make-A-Wish campaign? I would be so, so grateful for that. And I'm going to put the link for my campaign right in the show notes. You can learn a little bit more about it and give. And I will say Make-A-Wish is one of the most trusted fundraisers in the world. Like they just won an award for this because their money is used and stewarded so wisely for the gifts of these children who are in need. So I really want you to feel confident in giving. And every dollar matters, whether it's big or small in your mind. I would be so honored. And I know that this family would be too. Okay, the 6th thing you can do is a birthday or holiday fundraiser. Instead of gifts for your birthday or at the holidays, ask for donations. I mean, I don't know about you, but if I really want something or need something, I'm going to have the means to go get it, right? Like I don't really need something for my birthday and I don't really want anyone trying to pick out clothes for me because I'm very particular. But instead, we can go ask people to contribute to a cause we care about. And you can set this up through Facebook or other platforms. It's just a great way to raise awareness and encourage others to give. And the ripple effect from something like this is huge, because then they're like, oh, my birthday's coming up, or I want to do the same thing for Christmas. And then we stop making these holidays so commercialized and giving into all that materialism. Gosh, can you think if everybody this year said, I don't want Christmas gifts, I just want to give back? Oh, like we would change the world. It's so easy to combine celebration with purpose. And again, it just helps you remember that your life has meaning, especially when you do it for your birthday, right? Like you were born for a reason, and part of that reason was to lift others up. And the last idea I want to share with you today, this is number 7, is to tie charity to your work or business. You know, another beautiful way to give is to intentionally connect your work with a cause. This doesn't mean turning every project into a fundraising effort, and it definitely is not about public praise. But it is about asking yourself, how can the work I already do become a vehicle for impact? When I wrote my first book, I donated a portion of the proceeds to Alliance for Period Supplies. And that was to support women who couldn't afford period products. And it reminded me how powerful it is when we allow our gifts, our talents, our businesses, our platforms to serve more than one purpose. And you can do this in really simple, meaningful ways, right? You could, let's say you're a speaker, you could donate a percentage of your speaking revenue for the month of November. And anybody who books you, let them know, hey, a portion of this is going to this charity. Allocate part of your coaching client's payment each quarter to a charity you believe in, and let them know. Tie one product or service to a cause for a season. People genuinely want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And when they know that working with you is not only going to transform their life, but also supports a meaningful cause, they're all in. Your work can change lives twice. Once through what you deliver, and again through what you give. So here's what I want you to remember. Giving is an act of trust, a reminder that everything you have is a blessing, and a way of acknowledging that God can use your yes, even a small one, to make a big, big impact. And if you still need a more practical reason to give, it's a tax write-off, okay? It helps lower your tax bracket. There's no shame in that. Look, I just sold off a bunch of loser stocks so that I would owe less at the end of the year. You got to do what you got to do. So if that's what gets you to give, awesome. It's a tax write-off. Just do it. So as you enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday, of course, I want to invite you to be grateful and to reflect on your blessings, but also ask yourself, how can I extend my gratitude? Who can I bless? Where can I give? How can I make generosity part of my reinvention? Because reinvention isn't just about where you're going, it's about who you lift up along the way. And my challenge to you, should you choose to accept it, is to choose one charitable action that you can complete this week. Don't sit on this. Don't wait. Just one, big or small, doesn't matter. And if you feel called to support my Make-A-Wish campaign and you want that to be your one thing, the link will be in the show notes. Your generosity is going to bless a child and their entire family. And I would be so grateful for your support, and I know they would too. So go be the light. Spread your generosity far and wide. And I know that it's going to help you rock your reinvention. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're inspired to take action by committing to one of the tips or strategies we talked about in today's episode. If you want more accountability and support, I've got your back. Book a complimentary Empowered Exit Strategy call today. Visit KarenFreeland.com to learn more and book your 45-minute session. Until next time, stay fabulous.